Hi, welcome to the Freeman Conversations. I'm Jobert Ocam, the online editor of the Freeman, and this is Power Women, our way of paying tribute to women who are not afraid to make a difference. The women with me today are former journalists turned public servant, and I'm very lucky that they said yes to this conversation. We have with us today the new Public Information Officer of Cebu City, Malou Tabar.
Hi, good evening.
And of course,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And the the Information Officer of the Metropolitan Cebu Water District, Charmaine Gutierrez Cara. Ladies, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month. And happy World Water Day to everybody.
Oh, correct. This is World Water.
Yes,
very timely.
Yes.
Your visit then is very timely.
Yes.
Okay, before we go to the topic of our interview today, why don't we give the public, in line with the World Water Day, our water situation?
Trabaho.
Yeah.
Trabaho gid.
Might as well go straight to work, right?
Okay, water situation of Cebu City, no? Or Metro Cebu.
Metro Cebu, yeah.
So MCWD is serving 4 cities and 4 municipalities. So ang atoa yung pinaka-challenge is nisaka na yun ang demand, no? For Metro Cebu. Because of the increase in population and the development. So unprecedented kaayo ang development in Metro Cebu. You will see that everywhere, no? Skyscrapers, condominiums, tanan everywhere you look. So is this a good thing? Yes, it is. But in terms of water demand, sadly, moangkon yun MCWD nga wala ta ka-prepare that much. We knew that there will be this demand in terms of population, but sa demand nga sa commercial yun mismo, wala ta na ready. And secondly, ang sources nato diri sa Metro Cebu, dili na gid siya maka-supply, no? Sa gikinahanglan. So now we're getting supply outside Metro Cebu. So muna nga natay source in Carmen, and then natay upcoming one from Danao City. We're also looking somewhere sa north, so after Talisay na. So for summer this year, we have 2 additional supply contracts. One will be in April, and then hopefully the other one will be supplying us by May this year. Pero since these are private companies, palit na taong tubig nila in bulk, wala tayo control kung sa adyo nila ma-deliver.
Yeah.
But we are hoping that this additional 10,000 cubic meters per day will be infused or will be injected in our daily production. Right now, we're producing about 227 cubic meters per day, but the demand is already over 300,000 cubic meters per day. So MCWD is only supplying about 50% of the demand man.
Okay.
Karon. So ang sourcing hinay ta because katulagi na wala na depleted na ang ang sources dinhi in Metro Cebu. So we're buying from private companies kay it's one of the easiest and fastest nga paagi nga makapalit dayon ta, and then we can supply it readily to the customers.
10,000 cubic meters a day?
Yes.
Will this be enough for let's just say for 2 months?
The first contract will be in Cebu City, so it will augment the supply in South Cebu City, Mambaling area, and downtown. And then the other contract will be for Mactan.
Okay.
So separate ang areas because naani sila need, but ang kuwang nga na bidug supply, naabot na ni siya og 35 areas spread all throughout Metro Cebu. So dana tay 35 areas nga gitawag nato inadequate ang supply. One of the changes na atong gi-implement as of 2016 is wala na tani dawat og new customers in the area para dili mo suffer ang existing customers.
Okay. What's your message to the public? How can the public help deal with the situation?
Of course, the message ang kanimong World Water Day celebration is declared by the United Nations to give focus on issues about water. So for this year, it's how we can prevent droughts, floods, and pollution. So ang MCWD nangita jud og paagi to, of course, ang drought is nature man at siya, no? For floods also, we are going to address this by our upcoming mga dam projects. But this ang dam ang good mo take na siya up to 10 years,
right,
no?
Yeah.
Including na the bidding and the civil works. So natay duha ka dam projects coming in, apil na siya sa giplanuhan sa MCWD. So in terms of the demand, sa summer mong good, musaka dyan ang demand.
Yes.
So this is where the consumers can do their share, no? We can do that by mo investa in wastewater treatment or kanang recycling technologies daghan naman kay available. And of course we need to conserve, no, in our households. We can contribute a lot kung conserve ta, recycle tayo in our own little way.
How can we conserve exactly?
For women, no, kaning issue sa tubig, kuan kay ni siya kanang personal kay ni siya, and it's very kanang close to the hearts of women. So for example, kung one way is kanang kung magluto mo, no, you can use pots and pans na enough ra sa inyong lutoon. So using bigger pans man good, you tend to use more water, not just in preparing the food but also in washing the dishes.
Right.
So conscious use. No?
Yes, conscious. Just to buy smaller pots and pans. And then another is kind of good food wastage. Food preparation and production requires a lot of water. So if you waste food, you also waste water. So consume what you can, no? And kanang usa gyud na siya sa ato ang gi-advocate karon sa MCWD.
Very nice, very good tips.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Malou Tabar is the newly appointed Information Officer of Cebu City. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Before you were appointed as Information Officer of Cebu City, you were handling the Tourism Commission?
Tourism Office, where we also worked on making sure that there is not too much food wastage, because it's also part of the campaign, Sustainable Tourism.
How is the city celebrating Women's Month?
We had a lot of activities handled by the Women Commission. There's Zumba, there's care for elderly women. There are forums scheduled next week for our teenage mothers, and also a forum about how women in any generation could also be informed of their rights. Actually, the women in Cebu City are very, very active. We have the Kalipi and the Federation as well.
Councillors Margaret Osmeña and Mary Angela Santos were here earlier. We talked many things about women empowerment, about women having a voice these days. For the two of you, having been journalists, you've seen the society work, you've covered the community, and now being civil servants, public servants, how is serving the community as a woman? What makes you effective in what you do? What qualities does a woman have that make her effective in what she does?
Qualities?
Yeah.
I think the eye for detail and the heart for
detail-oriented,
detail-oriented and the heart to consider many factors. No offense to men, it's just that I just feel that sometimes we have the superpower to see to see the sides in any given situation.
Yes. And we are very capable of multitasking. So
I heard
so for kaning magtrabaho ta sa gobyerno, no, is usa sa challenge is limited kaayo ang staff.
Okay.
And funds.
Yeah, funds. So you need to work with the available resources that you have. So kanang atong training as journalists, dako kay siya og tabang to prepare us to multitask and to foresee kanang any untoward situation
and to act accordingly.
Yes.
When you were journalists, you were covering the city government.
Yes.
Right? So
Not me. It was an option not to cover because my grandfather was a city councillor, my auntie was a city councillor, and I had to stay away. So
yes.
I had to be with the provincial and the justice beat.
Yes.
With you.
Yeah.
She was city hall.
She was with the city hall. Yeah, they were our counterparts at city hall. But let's talk about you, because this is not your first role in the city. Before you were president of the Sangguniang Kabataan, you were barangay captain of Banilan,
Barangay councillor.
Barangay councillor also, and then you even ran for city councillor.
Yes. and I fell.
What was it about public service that lured you into it?
It started as the desire to help my grandfather. It was actually, I did not view it growing up as politics, or I viewed it as service, where people at that time, no barangay halls yet. The barangay hall was the living room of my lolo, and I grew up seeing all of these people. Why do they always go to my lolo's house? Why do they always ask for something? And if my lolo can't give them anything, go to the butanganan of bugas, and then okay, the bugas of our family is the bugas of everybody. That is my orientation, service, and so I grew up wanting to help him, and then it never stopped. And not anymore.
You were SK president at what age, if I may ask?
16.
How many terms did you serve in SK?
1 term, and then after I became #1 councilor for 1 term, and then I became barangay captain for like 2 terms.
How is it being in government and being a woman at the same time?
It started
what
for
are
me
the
as
challenges?
It was 2 hits for me, because you're a woman and then you're young. So
correct.
That's a huge factor that I encountered before. You know? There are a lot of, you cannot help it. There's discrimination, because some people think that you're not good enough because you're not a man, and you're not good enough because you're too young. I enjoy moments when you prove them wrong.
Because there's also a notion that, well, politics primarily is a man's world and continues to be a man's world. Do you agree?
Not anymore. Not with a lot of women making waves also. Maybe in law school, I remember my teacher, because I always raised my hand. It's about why are women lined up with the elderly, those with special needs, those with kids, and then why is annulment like this, why is concubinage, and there are so many issues there. And he just told me that, you know, in Ocando at that time, when you look at Congress, there are so many men. And so I think it's good that now we have a lot of women there also, and in governance, because it really helps a lot.
You've covered the city government. Of course, there are women leaders in the city. Do you think we need more, or do we have enough? For you, at this point in time, there are only 3 female city councilors.
Only 3 now.
Only 3 in Cebu City, at least.
But there were even fewer
Before, yes.
Yeah, so
Your time.
I think it's a good change, and yes, it would be nice to see more of them. I think they will do a lot of improvements for the Cebu City. Maybe if Malou will be there.
No, not anymore.
You are now leading your offices in MCWD and then the Public Information Office of Cebu City. One of the most popular Miss Universe winners, perhaps, Lara Data from India, she was asked during the pageant, what makes women leaders different from men? And she said that what makes them different is a certain amount of sensitivity. Do you agree with women leaders?
I agree. The heart is very important. I think it wouldn't really matter if you're a man or a woman. No? I just believe in always. Maybe it's the training in journalism or our experience. I just believe that there are always 2 sides to a story. And in this case, if you're on the side of women, there is a lot of heart to consider into anything that you do.
Yes, and before we listen to Charmaine's answer, of course, also joining us this afternoon in Power Women, and we're very glad she was able to catch up, is Councilor Jocelyn Pesquera. Hello, Councilor.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we're very glad to have you here.
Good afternoon.
And happy Women's Month to you.
Maghapon sa inyong mga televiewers sa Freeman Lab.
Yes. Thank you very much. You just came from another appointment.
Yes, sa Mandawan.
Very busy.
Very busy, but thank you, and we're very glad that she's able to join us today. So the question that we left off is that one of the Miss Universe winners from India, Lara Data, said during the pageant, because she was asked, what makes women leaders different from men? And she said that the difference is women leaders have a certain amount of sensitivity. And I'm asking for their thoughts. I let you think a little bit before, as we listen to Charmaine.
Yeah.
Sensitivity. I think
Yes.
well, there's no distinction male or female, pero for women Mongol we have motherly instincts siguro, no? And we can be anyone to everyone. Meaning we can be a sister, we can be a mother, we can we are capable of playing a lot of roles. No?
Different roles.
Yes, depending sa situation. So, muna ang nakalindot sa women.
How is, because you are now mother of one for now,
Yes.
how is your being a mother helping you in your work in the office?
That's a very nice question. I've always loved advocacies involving children. So now that I'm a mother, mas ninot akong inside, meaning I understand what they want now, and I speak their language, no? So in terms of like before na ako'y hand washing, it's a regular advocacy of MCWD. It's promoting hygiene and sanitation. So now I think about not just the program, how to implement it. I'm also thinking about things that they can makaabot sila. And when I go to places, mo na jud ko like popular kanang fast food, no? Nga chains, makana ko hello, I wish they had sinks nga kanang
Lower, right?
No?
Yeah.
Kay muuni ang ilahang market. So nakoy mga inana ba na. So in fact, with one of our partners sa academe, CIP, I suggested to them that if you're going to design naman may joint project for the Bangon Elementary School, I asked them to design a sink nga lower jud nga makaabot
Correct.
ang katong pinaka-youngest na bata.
Because how can you wash your hands if you can't?
Yes. So muna siya usa na sa mga insights nako na as a mother.
Very, very nice. Counselor?
Yeah.
About women being more sensitive.
I do agree. I was able to also hear the comment of Malou. It's really like mostly women, we use our heart. Yeah. When there are sometimes they would say that we are more emotional, and sometimes they would say that we decide based on what we feel. Yeah. So I do agree that it's more on like we're so sensitive in a way that we can already like empathize. Yeah. We can really feel on like unsay tawag feeling sa mga tao. So automatically we react based on that.
So on the positive side.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when there's an argument, Manggod, women can be very emotional, which is always on the negative side.
Yeah.
But it's nice, it's very refreshing for hearing that can actually work to your advantage.
Oh yes, because aside from that, like women as women leaders can easily like balance between emotion and balance on what's really like what is needed in a particular situation. But always we have like to put it in a human factor in dealing into something like let's say for example in a traffic. Sometimes like some people would think that just based on science, but women would always like see things like how is it on a perspective of an ordinary person. How a person would deal in such a situation that like in a traffic situation unsay reaction sa kamong tao.
That can be what Charmaine shared with us earlier, the natural instinct of women
Yes.
as mothers.
In a way, yes, because I'm sorry, I'm not yet also a mother, but not necessarily. I would say that mothers would really, because like I'm sure, not necessarily that you have children to have that mother.
To be a mother.
Yeah, you've been a mom
Yes.
of many Cebu City residents for a long time.
Yeah.
Also, before you arrived, I asked them if we need more leaders in the city government that are women, because today, at least in the city council, there are only 3 of you there,
Yes.
right? And well, I asked Councilors Margot and Mary Ann de los Santos earlier, what would the situation be perhaps if we have the same number of male and female councilors in the city council? Do you think we need more women councilors?
Yes, I always encourage women to really go out and join politics or even in the governance. Because but for me like growing up like since like high school and college, like I've been with like, mga barkada mostly male. Okay? And then there were like incidents during that time, parang mamatoy height of like women empowerment. And then like the men would always like in our group nga mag-complain. Kami ko ng mga kababayan mag-complain, why are there no more mga gentlemen?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like also still we love to be like nang open sa mundor, ganon, pampered, pati nga dayan. Kamo gusto man mo og kanang simog pangayo equality.
That's the argument of the men.
Yes,
okay.
But what we need is equity. It's not really equality. Because for me, we're created all equal. We have the same, we may have different talents. Even women, we have different talents. Like Malou, Charmaine, me, like they are very good in writing. I may not.
And they're very good musicians.
Yes.
Yes.
They're also very good in public speaking. So not all women are at the same level as they are. Okay, but then that's why each of us, you're either a male or a female, they lahi atong talent. But it's just only up to us on how we harness that particular special talent.
Individual strengths.
Yes. Okay. So more na siya nga, for me, it doesn't really matter kung babae ka or lalaki ka, as long as ikaw, even kung lalaki ka, na kay heart, not only just for men, but for all. Yes. Okay? Nga kay ako ang good, like sa ako, like growing up also, like commuting, riding vehicle, public utility vehicles, I have seen like, kanaging karton, mag-agian mo sa una sa carbon, magduot mo karton, ang akong pagwan, luoy. The first reaction ako, luoy. Lami ka, nindot kayo nga munaog ko para tabangan ako push. Okay. But when ako na po ang situation na mag-drive ko, magkunaw na sa dugay. Madugay ka ba? So, in every aspect in life, magkausab ang imong perspective in life. Okay? But then, ana man ka in governance, ang importante, you know how to balance. Balance all interests, whether the interest of women, the interest of men, the interest of the senior citizens, or the interest of the children. So whether you're a male or a female, ang importante nato nga mga public officials, public employees, nga kabaw mo balance.
What is that?
Oo nga, balik ko na to. Like even if they're also sensitive with the needs of others. But of course, I'm always biased for women.
For your gender.
Yes, for our gender. So if there will be more women in the city council, I would be gladly happy. I'd be happy. Kay siguro ako mahinumduman the first time because during my the first 3 terms na ako as a member of the council, I had this project nga nagpabutang ko every March katong kanang women in the city council. Yeah, I have all the portraits of all the councilors in the city government since like the earliest time, like 1940s. And then the first one was, the first woman councilor was Ada Rosario. So, siya din, naiuban, appointed, na si uban, kanang elected. And then the first time dito nga, daghan mi sa konseho, I think naabot mi kupat. That's like me, and then that's the Glenna Buntuyan, and Buntuyan. Then we have Dr. The Dr. Dana, and then Carmen Calamide.
Oh yes.
So that was like sa height na mo of the women empowerment in the council. So upat kami ka membro sa konseho nga babae.
You've been at the city council for quite some time now.
Yes.
How's the relationship between the male and female councillors? What's the dynamic?
We deal in a way like sa una, when I was younger, maybe they were more sa ako considerate.
Okay.
maybe sa pagtanaw like mata pa, and then they were so considerate, and then they were also very helpful in such a way kay kanang good sa maski no matter how you good like may nga training nimo on parliamentary procedure, but once naka sa konseho di nakakaingon nga ala kanus aka ko magkasulod kanus asad ka makakuha sa kana attention sa presiding officer. But now nga medyo dugay-dugay na sad ko sa konseho, and then ang ako sa mga kauban niya sa konseho nga mga babay, Kuan naman sad, medyo like third term o second term, nalagyan sila ego nga kasi natian sa proseso. So, more or less, equal na ang amuang pagkuhan diha sa konseho.
Speaking of which, we still live in a very largely patriarchal society, the Philippines. In this situation, how do we ensure that women are able to speak their mind? How do we make women unafraid?
We speak our we speak our minds and make sure that when we speak with sense. Because the moment you start speaking with sense, you make people pay attention. And when they do pay attention, you get the message across. It's a matter of effective communications, I think. Because as you said, it's a patriarchal society and sometimes you get lost in all the testosterone. But the moment you start speaking and you speak well and you speak with heart and sense, you also start to make waves. I think it's a matter of showing them that you are a woman and you can do this. And then they will start believing that woman can really do this.
Charmaine, you are the information officer of MCWD, and you do not only deal with people personally or up close physically, but you also deal with them online, on social media, for example. How do you make them listen to you?
That sa previous yung question, sa'yo na kay I get paid to speak.
Good for you.
No, and ang MCWD, we have about 800 personnel. Yet ang women is only 127.
Wow.
So it's predominantly male. And they rely on me to speak on their behalf. So
Yeah, that must be empowering. At the same time, a lot of pressure.
That's true. Ang challenge sa water utility is dili lang siya speaking to the consumers, no? Technical kaayo, daghan kay technical aspects sa among operations that I need to simplify, so I need to understand it. I'm even thinking na murag sayop jud siguro akong career dapat nag-engineer. But the good thing is we have female engineers, no? What may problema, and we have had female GM and members of the board. So sa MCWD ang environment, ang women is really kanang encouraged to speak. Walay suppression or
walay discrimination.
Walay discrimination at all.
Councilor Pesquera mentioned earlier that when she was younger in the city council, the other members were a little bit considerate to her. But you're still young and you're already holding high positions in government, in public service. How do you make those more senior members of your organization listen to you?
With charm and personality.
Charm.
I actually had a lot of experiences when I was barangay captain. I was the youngest female barangay captain during my time. And the advantage of women is that we have the ability to be pleasing and personable and can try to charm people into getting our way. Because sometimes men find it difficult to smile your way through a situation. Sometimes it's difficult to say no if it's a woman who also knows how to use her charm.
Yeah. Councilor Margot earlier actually said that because men generally we don't want to show emotions, particularly in public. Right? But women
have the freedom.
Yeah,
to
she
so.
said she doesn't hesitate to show what she feels.
And they sometimes get worried when you go all emotional. So sometimes it gets the job done. Just know when to use it.
Charmaine, how do you make your senior members listen to you?
Senior member sa policy or sa decision making. Since I also had customer service, I just bring the voice of the customer. So it's really not hard sa convincing part or to get your point across. So it's just really because mo immerse mo good ko sa customer complaint. So I really talk to the customers. So dili alien na ako ba. So of course when you're asked to explain, maka-explain good ka. So I don't think na
because you also know their situation.
About the situation, and I go to the communities. I talk to the people. So, kanat siya.
Consider.
Difference.
Yeah. Sa pagtanaw na ako, it's not only just because like patriarchal ta, but it's more on like ato ang growing up, sa ato ang growing ba. We are like me, like growing up, like I was like told na if you explain to your parents, it's just like you talk back to your parents. Muna, mamangumpisal, talagang kay puro na I talk back to my parents, I talk back to my parents. Because it's not only like your father na di ka pwede mong sulti, but also your mom, di ba? But then, kuhan kayo na ako, bibig kayo na ako sa memory na sa high school, first year high school, in my kuan, kanang confession. So, katungod lagi nga, tanan akong lista, talk back naman. So, I asked the priest nga, is it really a sin if I explain to my parents o unsay ang ako ang feeling o unsay ako ang pagtanaw in a certain situation? Is it really talking back to my parents? Ngayon man ang pare na, no, it's not a sin. As long as you know that what you are doing is right, then you just explain it to your parents. So that's because of that, I parang nagsugod ko ngayon anak
that
ko.
empowered you.
Yes, nga. Ma-explain ko sa akong parents. Nga. But if I am wrong, then I just have to keep my mouth shut and sorry. But if I believe I am right, then I will always stand for what I believe is right. So in that manner, even now, if there are people will like speak out because that is what they believe is right, then be it. As long as also na di sad ka step on the rights of other people. Okay, sometimes good, we are so concerned on ourselves, on what are our rights, but we also forgot na usa sa mga rights sa other people or our own obligation towards others. So in that manner, if like even like mga parents can just explain it well to their kids, we can have more empowered women and even the like empowered children, and especially for the children. Okay, ang karon sa itong mga bata, they're more on concern on their rights, but they forgot also that they have corresponding obligations, and one of those to obey their parents. Yeah.
Well, since you're a lawyer, I might as well ask you this: do we have enough laws, or if we have enough, is implementation or enforcement enough? These are laws that promote women's rights and welfare.
I believe we have enough laws to protect the rights of women, and not only protect but also promoting the rights of women. And I believe also our local government units like Cebu City and even in the province of Cebu, they have been espousing on that. And in fact, we have a number of women organization. Sa tumagwa na to mga organizations, mas daghan ang mga kababayan nga naa sa mga NGOs rather than mga laki. So in a way, what ka nagkulang ana NGOs and government and in informing the people on kanang on the rights of women. It's just that nga based on culture. Nakita masango jutay on the culture. A culture of like especially like I mentioned na ang ato ang teachings nato when we were younger nga kana kung babae ka ana ka sa likod ba, or kung babae ka ang imong role sa pamilya tigluto lang ka tigkuan ka antos lang ka ina na gani.
And in the past also women were told when to get married, when to have children.
Yes.
And if you married, because women before married very early in life.
Yes, like before marrying age, like before like 16, 14, 16. So when you're already 14, you can already get married. Sa babae, sa lalaki like 16. So inana ba, sometimes magod kung especially kung maski siguro nga mababae ka sa malalaki, ang mas dali manggug ka ma-controller by another person on the financial aspect. Okay? Kay like kita magutanan like we need also like sa ato ang daily living nato we need to spend, we need to food, shelter, clothing. So mostly ang kanang like kung kisay nagtrabaho mo gyud makakontrol. Oo,
okay.
so
Okay.
usually sa pamilya mo gud ang bana mo gud ang magtrabaho lang.
Traditionally.
Yes, traditionally. So, mahug na nga kay kung especially kung ang pamilya or ang inaasawa daghan sila anak. Ang tendency magud sa asawa, ang una magud yung tan-awon ug unsa man ang iyang mga anak. Asa man padung ang mga anak kung wala siya. So amo na ang tendency sa babae na maski lisod na kaayo niya, sakit na kaayo niya, iyang antuson.
She stays at home.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but definitely many things have changed.
Oh yes.
We live in a different world. But do you think the world today has made it easier for women?
Internet. Talking about internet, yes.
Siguro dili kung Cebu City ka lang o province of Cebu, I would say yes. But there are still other areas
in the world.
In the world or even here in our country nga wa pa kay kakitag TV. So how much more internet. So those places yun mo pa kinahanglan og kanang mga kanang assistance yun.
What challenges do women still face today and that need to be addressed?
Challenges?
Stereotypes,
yeah, sometimes
objectification
in some parts. In some parts, siguro there are still some. I agree with Councillor Joy when she says I think we're women in Cebu City and Cebu Province are a bit advantage over other parts of the world. No? If you say, I would like to believe that women also are trying their best to make it easier and work for women, because those who are ahead in terms of making waves and making the voices of women heard and setting good examples, I think it's making a big difference when you show women that we are here and we did this and you can also do this. So I think that would be, if we could have more women do that, give voice to those other women out there, I think it would be a lot of help also.
It's really a culture thing to say, Councilor Joy, and ang culture mo sa Cebu is, if you notice, dili marinana ang mas taas ang respeto sa women, and that's why women are enjoying opportunities, not just in government but also in private companies, even in the media.
Correct.
It's
most of the reporters that we have are women.
Yes, and
I think we only have one, right? Or two. But in the Freeman, at least, most of the reporters, journalists are women.
During when I was with the media, most of the editors,
But we don't have so much anchors, commentators, hard-hitting commentators who are.
Because you left us.
No. And that's just some point that I was,
Also, when you notice in Cebu, gamay ra kay jokes about women. Kanang itong jokes na kanang.
I think it's because we fight back.
Mas daghan pag joke nga kanang akong lulo, ang jokes or kanang taga-other na provinces, but not about women and men. So it tells a lot about our culture and history. Taas og respeto. So
I think education also plays a major role, because the more women that you send to school, the more women also you are giving the freedom to be the best that they can be. I think education is very important. And
we just opened the public library 24 hours. I hope that will continue the challenge to sustain that.
Hopefully. And this Saturday we will be opening the first ever study center, first of many.
Oh, okay.
So.
And Councilor Joy, I heard there are more women now entering law school.
Oh yes. Even during my time, there were already a lot of women, like my classmates, like female students. So basically in the law school we are more or less equal.
From Cebu, I'll bring you to the UK. UK. Well, one of the women of the hour is Meghan Markle, the future wife of Prince Harry. And in one of the gatherings there for Women's Month, she said, and I'd like you to comment if you agree or disagree, she said that women don't need to find a voice, they have a voice, they only need to feel empowered to use it, and the people need to be encouraged to listen. Who wants to go first?
Okay. I believe, I agree with her that we have a voice, and it's all up to us that we have to really voice out what we feel is right. And then I believe here in the city of Cebu, women are so empowered. So they can make Cebu City as an example of women having voice.
Ladies?
I agree with her. We do have a voice. It's a matter of learning how to use that voice to make a mark in the world and to help other women. Because even if you are, even with whatever situation, we have a lot. I'm very particular about fighting for the rights of women who are victims of domestic abuse, women who do not have the power to fight back because they think that I'm stuck in a relationship or a situation where there's need for legal help. That's also one of the reasons why when I was manager of CCTN, I asked and worked with former Deputy Ombudsman for the Visayas, Virginia Palanca Santiago, to come up with a program called Samata sa Kababayanan, where you offer free legal advice to victims and women on air. And it made me see that, especially in far-flung areas of the country, there are so many women who are in situations that they feel they cannot get out of or cannot help their kids because they don't have the power to fight back because they don't know what to do. So I think it's a matter of letting them know that there are a lot of women who also can help you, men and women, to show you that there is a lot of things that can be done to help other women as well.
Yes, I agree with her. I come from a family of public school teachers, and for me, Manggod, the job of the teacher kana bitong pag-nurture sa mga bata. That's teaching them how to, not just educating them, that's teaching them, that's giving them a voice, no? Whatever you values you teach them, they will bring that as even they grow older. Yeah, I think that's the voice of a woman, no?
I can
that's a seed being planted on each and every.
I can relate to that because also in my family, I come from a family of educators. Most of them are women, teachers in public schools. Speaking of which, you have a son.
Yes.
And he's growing to be a very handsome smart gentleman. What have you told him about women?
That's very nice. I always at this early, I already teach him how to treat women right. So from the babysitter to the lola to everybody. So I even tell my husband mas nagtudlo pa ko sa akong husband kaysa akong anak gani. Madaling manggod, no? So I kanang pag-treat good, basic good na kanang I believe manggod that nga he will be a good boyfriend or husband in the future kung maayo siya mo treat women this early.
Very nice, very nice. All of you are accomplished women. When you do things or when you deal with other people, do you think consciously of your gender?
No, I think it's just a matter of thinking about
you don't use
other
your
people
smile and your
not
beauty.
I think it's a matter of like when you go down to motherhood, no, it's about teaching your kids manners and how you treat other people, regardless of whether they're men or women. And so when you treat other people now, before I used to be very hot-tempered. I can hit back when you try to, but now when you're a mother, you think that if I do this and if I do that, how would it look to my kid, or would this be a good example? So as you said, it's important to set good examples. So now when you treat other people, you put the brakes on because you know that you are supposed
someone is watching.
And you're supposed to set a good example for the younger generations and for other women also as well.
Counselor, do you think consciously of your gender when you do things?
No, it's just more or less like in dealing with people. It will for me. It will depend on the group of the kind of people I'm dealing with. not necessarily on gender. Because there are, like, for example, if like it's a kid, so the manner of expressing to the kids is different when you're talking with adults. So it's really nothing about distinction about gender.
Your message to your fellow women and to the men watching us.
So this Women's Month, siguro, no, we just want to celebrate women all over the world. Each of us has a role to play in this society, and we just need to bring out the good in each and every one, women, men. We don't need to put anyone down or to katugin Joy earlier, no, step on others, right? So, kailangan siguro mutual love and respect. Love.
For women, no, just to be the best that you can be in whatever role you're playing. If you're a mother, be the best mother that you could be. If you are a professional, do good in your job, set good examples, because I think that we are works in progress. You know, sometimes we fall. It regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, it's a matter of respect and treating others the way you want to be treated, and hope with a smile, of course, that you will get the same treatment, the same respect that you show others.
Counselor?
Oh, ang beautiful.
Yes.
I believe women nowadays are very empowered, and it's just that still we have to maintain, even we are empowered, we still have to maintain our being a woman. Although like mostly like we're in a man's world, but not necessarily that imo ang wagtangon ang kasing-kasing nimo para sa imong pamilya, para sa katawhan, even to yourself. Kaya usahay baya ang kababayan nga we are so engrossed with our work, but ang ato yung number one nga makalimtan ang paghigugma sa atong kaugalingon. Because when we will forget to love ourselves, ang tendency nato nga how can you love others if you don't even know how to love yourself? And when you love yourself, it will just radiate, and you will just like parang bukuan ka mo bloom.
That actually also goes to men.
Oh yes.
Okay, before I let you go, I have to ask this, because I asked the two other counselors earlier, is Cebu City ready for a female mayor?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Pagkainom daw lang sa ko sa awang meeting nga hapon na sige lang. Nabog ko kauban ako nga konsehal nga akong binuangan, like we're like talking like 9 years from now ako binuangan. Dumi, 9 years from now, ako na yung mayor. Joke lang.
And we'll see 9 years from now. But unfortunately, we cannot talk about that for now, because now we're celebrating Women's Month. So there you have it, our guests in this edition of Power Women. We have Councilor Jocelyn Pesquera. We have Malou Tabar, the newly minted Public Information Officer of Cebu City. And of course, we have the Information Officer of the Metropolitan Cebu District.
Water Queen.
The Water Queen, Charmaine Gutierrez Cara. Thank you very much all, and again, Happy Women's Month to you.
Happy Women's Month to your
and
mom.
to you, and to all of us, and to you watching us right now. Please wait for our other segments in Power Women as we continue to talk to women who are not afraid to make a difference. I'm Jobert Ocao, online editor of The Freeman. Thanks for joining us today, and join us again next time here on The Freeman Conversations.